Have you ever tried dog food?
Yes, I have.
How is it?
It's very dry. Hello, everyone, and welcome to.
Did you start it?
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't see the numbers. Leave this in.
see, I told you. It happens.
Welcome to Baby That's Cont.
A conversational podcast about all of our favorite Cont.
I'm Kip, back again.
And I'm Joseph, and that is not my job.
How are you?
I am doing as well as I could be.
Well, that's huge.
So that's like a 5 out of 10 for me.
Okay, that's your peak at this time.
That's all I'm capable of given the circumstances of being alive.
Sure. What is the update with Archer?
Oh, so the update is, and for those of you who don't know, because I haven't told anybody,
Wait, sorry.
well, this is my L of the week. If we're gonna
Oh,
go
we're
right
in.
now.
Why not?
Okay, so the L of the week is that I woke up on Monday morning, and I guess I'll put a picture in. My dog's face looked like absolutely swollen. Like he was. I don't know if I texted this to you, but I was like, he looks like when Harry Potter, the last movie where Hermione jinxes him and his face gets all swollen.
Oh my god. You
It's
didn't tell me
like
that part, but you sent me the pic.
yeah. So he looked exactly like that, which was kind of super scary. Like I thought it would be an allergic reaction possibly, which isn't the worst thing, but then it's always scary. Like what if their throat closes up and they can't breathe? So take him to the vet, and they're like, yeah, it looks like an allergic reaction. Like we'll give him some Benadryl. So they gave him Benadryl shots to the face, like Botox for dogs. And that was clearing it up. And then so they called me. They're like, yeah, it seems like that was the issue. So you can pick him up later. We'll just send you home with some Benadryl, and it'll be good. So I'm like, okay, thank God. So then I finally breathe out because exhale. I'm freaking out all day. Then I get a second phone call, immediately after, and they're like, oh, I think I forgot to tell you, we found a small cyst on him, and I think we want to get it tested. It seems like it could be this thing. I forget what it's called, like a mast cell tumor or something, and that releases histamines, which causes the allergic reaction. So they're like, we think it could be that. So I think we should test it. So I'm like, okay, yeah, do that. And they're like, but still, come by and pick him up. He's doing much better. So I'm like, okay, it sounds like no big deal. So I Google it. And of course, it's terrifying. It's like cancer. It's literally a cancerous tumor that you would have to remove, or else it'll spread throughout the body. And so then I'm freaking out for a full 24 hours. I pick him up. He's fine. Here, I'll just say the test came back negative, and he's fine. It was just a weird allergic reaction. So I was freaking out, and that was my L. But then you were texting me, and I was like, oh, I just had another L, right?
Well,
So
wait, so because there was a mass there, right?
yeah, it was really small, the size, maybe smaller than a penny.
Okay, so are they
You can
just
feel
leaving
it.
that in?
Yeah, they said it'll just go away or not, but it's not bad.
Okay.
So he's totally fine. The second L was so I had to drop him off at 8 in the morning, because sometimes when you don't have an appointment and it's an emergency issue, they'll have you just drop them off, and then when the person can see them, they'll see them. So I drive there. It's 15 minutes away because it was closer to somewhere I used to live, and in my opinion, they've been a really good vet. And I hear all these stories about bad vets, so I've never wanted to change the vet. And I come home, and then it's time to pick him up. So I drive 15 minutes there, drive 15 minutes home, and then I'm like, you know what? They never gave me the Benadryl. So I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna have to go back. And I'm like, oh, this is like annoying because I like already paid for it or whatever. So I get in the car and I start driving back again on my third trip there of the day. And I call them and I tell them, like, hey, I'm coming. Like, I forgot to get this. And they're like, okay, we'll have it ready for you when you get here. So, like, 10 minutes down the road, I get a phone call back. And they're like, actually, we didn't give you any Benadryl to take home. Like, you just have to go buy it. So I'm like, I thought this was like dog Benadryl
I
or
know
something.
dogs
It's
use
like,
the same stuff
no,
as us.
just go buy regular Benadryl and give it to him. So I'm like, you're kidding me. I'm like already almost here. So I turn around and drive back home and I have to get the Benadryl. It's like the last thing I want to do during this like stressful time.
Yeah. Wait, that's hilarious. I
So
didn't know this.
I felt like an idiot. Yeah.
Would he take it, or do they have like liquid stuff you can give him?
Okay, so we had to give him a pill and a half of it. And
Okay.
so I was giving him like I put it in my hand with like some other food so he'd just like eat it all up. But then after the first time, what he started doing was he'd get like eat all the food and put it in his mouth, then spit it all out on the floor and only eat the food and leave the pillows. So then I had to get more creative about tricking him.
Oh my god. So what worked?
Um, like
That's so
peanut
gross.
butter, basically. Yeah.
Got it. Have you ever tried dog food?
Yes, I have.
How is it?
It's very dry. It just tasted like flour to me, like wheat, like just plain bland dryness, I guess.
Yeah, what caused you to eat this?
Well, I don't want to bleep it, so I'm not going to say the name, but there was someone I mentioned on the pod who I went to see Wicked with his family, if you remember. I was at his house, and we were like, we all tried it.
Yeah, I've never tried it, but we definitely had a summer. We were at like a friend's house for like a week for while our parents went on vacation or something, and I don't know. Someone got like dared into force eating like half a piece of dog food, and they were allowed to wrap it in a food roll up.
It's not that bad, I don't think.
Well, as someone who sells dog food, it's mostly made from the same things humans eat.
I'll tell you this. I have this bag on the counter of dog treats. It's like jerky. It says human grade on it. It's like turkey jerky. And some days I'm really close to just, I need a little protein snack. I thought about trying it.
Yeah, well, dogs can eat people food, so why couldn't we eat dog food?
Yeah. I think it's just more bland. Like it doesn't have spices and flavorings, really. It's just like meat flavor.
Oh, I never thought about that. That's so interesting. All right. Well, glad Archer's okay.
Yeah. So that was my L of the week. It was a very stressful couple days, and then it's like I didn't get any work done, so now I'm behind and have to catch up this weekend.
Sorry.
So that's me. How was your week?
It was really good. I don't really have an L. Other than it's like it was so cold in New York. It was like in the 20s and windy, and just like we took a few berries classes and it was like 10 blocks away. And so, you walk there and you're bundled up and it's fine. But afterwards you're all like sweaty and stuff. So we would
Yeah.
like, we didn't want to shower there. So we'd like go in the locker room and take a shower towel and like wipe ourselves down and then like put our sweatpants back on. And then we had to wash like everything each time.
That's wild.
Yeah. Oh, this is so funny. One of the co-CEOs of Barry's still teaches classes, and he was teaching class on Thursday. So we went to it. Did I send you him?
You sent him straight to my house. His
Well, you're
name's
welcome.
Joey, right?
Yeah. He's
That's my
very
name.
he's very hot. It is your name, sort of. I'm seeing some Joseph in the chat.
I have multiple personalities with multiple names.
Yes. Um well, it was just so funny because when like too how like you've obviously progressed in your career, but occasionally you have to go do something that like you didn't have to do anymore and you're just not as good at it as you
Yeah,
used to be.
sure.
He like the class was good and I did burn a lot of calories and stuff, but he had totally forgotten like how it all works, and so he was a little disorganized and his timings were a little off. And then the classes used to be 60 minutes, and then post pandemic in cost cutting mode they're 50 minutes, and he had forgotten, and so he taught a full 60-minute class and he didn't realize till the end.
Wow. I saw in the article you sent me, where he had some nice photos,
Yeah.
that he said he teaches up to like 50 classes a year.
I read that too. I don't know if it's true.
I don't know how old that is. It could be older. But it seems like he should know what he's doing if you're teaching a class a week.
I agree. It was very funny. And it's like I don't know how they have co-CEOs. And also, okay, so it said
Yeah.
he does 500 minutes of strength training a week and 200 minutes of cardio a week. So that's like 12 hours a week in the gym almost.
That seems backwards. Like, I think that the numbers are right, but it should be the other way around, shouldn't it?
I mean, he said he does like Olympic style bodybuilding.
Which I don't know what that means, because there's Olympic weightlifting and then there's bodybuilding. So I don't know which he's talking about. I think he's just making it up at this point.
Well, that's what I was going to say is if you read it, which you did, it's like he's eating like thousands of calories before 8 a.m., but isn't waking up until 7 a.m. And then
he did say 6 to 7 a.m. I'll give him that.
Okay, sure.
But he's also said he's cooking all the food for the day in like an hour, which is crazy. Which there's no way this man's cooking food. Like, I'm sorry.
No, I agree with that. And he's like dropping the kids off at school. Like, there was no time built into this day to like run the business he's supposed to be running.
Yeah. Well, that's why he's the co-CEO. I think he's probably just like the face of it, like the model face, so that way he can do interviews and be like, this is the CEO, look how good he looks, you should do it too.
Yeah, I think that's probably true. And maybe he's supposed to go check the studios and make sure they're like doing well.
Yeah, apparently he travels a lot to them, so.
Yeah, I thought that was really wild though.
He did look good, I will say that.
I agree. Okay, win of the week. Did you see the Alpha Bussy TikTok?
No.
One of the songs she sings, I think it's Glinda singing, and she goes, Alpha Bussy. And it sounds like Alpha Bussy.
Oh. Are you sure it's not Nessa singing it?
Alpha Bussy.
It doesn't matter.
Well, I'll send it to you. Yes.
That is funny. I haven't seen that.
I
didn't know you were a TikTok girly.
Things make their way to me. I still don't have the app.
Yeah, it's better that way.
Yeah. Well, you see that they just lost a court case again, so they may be forced to sell.
Oh, yeah, I did see that. I think Zuck has been given the suck, bribing them to make sure it goes through, so that way he can continue his reign here in America.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Wait, tell me about your sweater, your hoodie.
Oh, yeah. Well, I got this. We were laughing because one of the big struggles of making a video podcast is making sure you haven't worn something before. So my recent trick has just been like, whatever new clothes I bought in the last week is like, that's my shirt the pod. And then you were like, it looks good. And then I was laughing because it's like from the berries collection, which like I just feel like they've really gotten me into their ecosystem.
They really dug in on you.
But they're so like they really force you into it because they'll do these challenges, and then you just basically earn points by taking classes, which I was going to do anyways. And
You
so
love a point system.
I do love a point system. I might reach black tier, which is their top tier status.
Wow. Okay, next week your name's gonna be Barry.
Barry, that's Cont. um, but yeah, they really do force you into it. So they sent us, me and Brendan both got $50 gift cards from this challenge, but you could only use them in their online shop. You can't use them to buy classes, which is bullshit. And they also have like different merch in studio, and you can't use it there either. Everyone, all these members have like tons of gift cards that can only be used online, and their selection is incredibly limited, and they're always out of the size you want. But they did have a Black Friday drop, and a bunch of stuff happened, and so that's how I ended up with this Barry's sweater that also has like numbers on the side. Oh, the camera's.
Oh, and armpit holes.
Oh yeah, so you can really. Ding, ding.
Can really show pit with that.
You call me Hasan because I'm showing pit.
I wish you were Hasan. No offense.
That's okay. Does he have a good personality?
Well, I think he's fun.
Okay, cool.
He hasn't been canceled yet, despite like literally been so many people trying to.
What does he do wrong?
Well, people don't like him because he's like an advocate for Palestine, but they keep trying to say that he's like racist against Jewish people, which is not the truth from what I've gathered, but I'm not super deep into the Hasan. I mean, I'm deep, but not that deep.
You're deep in some ways.
Like, he streams 8 hours a day, 7 days a week, talking about news and politics. So, like, how could I possibly know if he's ever said something, like, actually bad?
Oh, that's true.
Because people just clip stuff out of context, and so you can't know if what you're seeing really is the truth, or if he just said, it's not like I'm saying, and then he says something. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, it's tough out there. Well, I just feel like, we, once again have a rapist on his way to the presidency. So I'm just not so worried about cancel culture anymore.
It's just, it doesn't even exist anyways. Like,
Correct.
So.
Well, also the world is so upside down now. Like, you saw the healthcare CEO get murdered.
Okay, yeah. I did want to talk about it. Because
Let's talk about it.
I don't think it's a funny situation.
No,
Depending
it's
on
sad.
which side you're on, whether you're pro shooter or pro CEO.
I'm anti-violence.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think in general, yes, I'm anti-violence. So I was thinking before the pod, because I knew we would talk about it, and I was like, truly, what is my moral stance of like, is it okay to like be happy if someone died? Like when Reagan died, like a lot of people were happy, or like when Trump dies, I think a lot of people will be happy. Like when he had COVID and everybody was just like crossing their fingers. Like,
we were so close. We were so close.
And then there was the shooting. What do you think?
I think it's fine to be happy when people die. I just don't think it's fine to like kill them.
Do you think it's fine to make jokes about it? Like, as a lot of people are. That's where I get iffy on the morality of it all.
To make jokes about it, well, that's my favorite thing to do.
Well, that's valid.
I
Because
mean, I
like
guess,
I don't think it's wrong to make fun, like make jokes like to the person that's dead, because like maybe they're gone, they're not hearing them.
yeah.
But for like their family, it probably sucks to be saying a million jokes about it.
No, I totally agree. I think we live in a terrible world. And I would hope that they're staying off the internet.
Yeah, out of public, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, what was so crazy was like, and I don't know how much of this is real life and how much of it is just the internet, which is kind of a problem I face a lot these days. But it seemed like a lot of people were happy about it and openly expressing just all the terrible things that like his company had done to them. And so,
Yeah,
I think it's hard for me to say like if United Healthcare like denied care for somebody and they died as a result of that. Like I think that person's family can be happy that this rich man is dead.
yeah. But can we be happy on their behalf?
Sure. We could be anything we want.
Yeah,
Unlimited. Do you
yeah. I
get
think
that?
there's a lot of like reasons why I think people are feeling the way they are, given the state of things in the world. So like,
Well,
I
I
don't
think it's
know.
also like I think it's helplessness with the idea that our system will improve. I think is part of it.
Yeah.
And then I think, well, go ahead.
I was just say what I said the other day, I think kind of sums it up is like, I've learned that in the end, people get what's coming to them. So I don't know whether I celebrate it or not, but like, that's the only thing, like, kind of that can give me some peace.
Yeah. Well, the other part of it too, I think, at least what people are enjoying online is like, A, the shooter seems to be hot, which is hilarious.
Yeah.
But B, he shot him in broad daylight. Like it was like 6:45 in the morning, but that's a very like normal time for people to be out in New York City.
Yeah.
In Midtown, and he hopped on a bike and just like trundled away, and they don't know anything about him. Like,
Did you, did you see, like, so he left a backpack at the scene, and inside the backpack, or it was near the scene, whatever.
I think he
But
left it in Central Park.
they released what was inside the backpack. Did you see that?
Yeah,
It is Monopoly money.
it's so funny.
I think what's crazy is it truly seems like a well planned out situation
Yeah.
and not like a crazy, oh, I don't know, what do you call it? Like crime of passion, like a spur of the moment shooting.
Yeah, no, it was very targeted, and it's just very funny because like I was staying like 20 blocks away, like a decent distance, but like in theory, if it was a random person gunned down, I would have felt a little worried, but it just was so clearly targeted and very much just yeah, I don't know. I felt completely safe and fine.
Yeah. Like they were like, everyone be on the lookout. It's like this guy killed one singular targeted person and none of the people around. Like, he's not coming for the regos of the world.
Yeah. No, 100%. I have normal healthcare that annoys me too.
I used to have United.
Did you? How was your experience?
Uh, Not the best. I didn't ever had any like issues. Like I didn't die because they denied my care. Thank God. But I had like tons of billing issues that I literally never got resolved, and I stopped seeing my therapist because of it, because
Oh, I
of those
remember
issues.
that. I didn't
So
realize
that's
that was
why I
United.
am the way that I am. Because they didn't deny my care, but they made it
Challenging.
impossible to get it.
Got it. Well, I learned never to have them, so fingers crossed.
Well, it could get better now. It's
I
like, are they going
guess.
to give in to terrorism? Did you see like the other health insurance companies? They had like a new policy that like if your anesthesia for surgery, like if the surgery goes on too long, then you'll have to pay for the rest of the anesthesia yourself.
Okay, I did see that, but then I think it turned out to be more complicated than the outrage made it seem.
Well, I think people were thinking like they'll just turn it off and you wake up, which is not the situation. It's like you would just pay for it out of pocket. But they reversed it after this, so like terrorism worked.
Well, okay, but what I think actually happened is that message of outrage was sponsored by like the anesthesiologist society, and I guess I mean, anesthesia is one of the most expensive like parts of medical care, and they get away with a lot. And so the policy was designed to bring like approved anesthesia times in line with other providers, is my understanding. And
Oh,
it actually worked in favor of like keeping costs high. The outrage.
I see. Well, you could never win.
But they did such a good job with the messaging because when I first read it, I was like, oh my God. But it turns out it was a good thing.
Play it ourselves.
It's really crazy out there. Healthcare is so wild. It's like, ugh, I just hope I'm like normal my whole life.
Yeah, it's like just if I'm gonna die, just go fast and not have
Yeah,
to worry about it.
yeah. We'll see. Okay, you watched the Sabrina Carpenter special and you hated it.
Did you watch it?
I did watch it last night.
And what did you think?
Okay, well, it
You
was
loved
boring.
it.
No,
Oh,
it was boring, but I did like laugh a few times. The Meg Stalter skit uh with Nick, the boyfriend,
yeah.
who turns out to be Santa.
But were you laughing at her or at the other people?
I was laughing at Meg mostly.
Yeah. That was my main criticism was everybody else outshined her, I thought.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't like that well done. And like, she comes out on like, well, what's supposed to be a Christmas tree, but it turns out it's a cake. Um,
Oh.
and her dress was like wrinkled.
Yeah, I also did. That was my other criticism was that her outfit sucked.
Yeah, I thought this so too. And a lot of the songs were boring. I also didn't care about like certain guests. Like, I don't know
Yeah.
who Kali Uchis is really.
That's what I
Um,
said.
yeah, like I've heard the name, but um, yeah, I don't know.
It's
I just
just
wasn't excited by the guests.
I feel like is it possible it's like this was not made for us?
Maybe, but I'm so young.
I mean, we love a pop girly, but she was not giving that.
Yeah. I also didn't understand the concept of why is it nonsense?
Yeah, I didn't get that. I was like, does she have a song like called that or something?
She does, but it's from like a couple years ago, and I didn't understand why it was a nonsense Christmas.
I don't know. Like to me, if you're gonna give me this, like the one thing that sticks out of my mind, and I've been seeing memes of it popping up again, is Lady Gaga Christmas special with her in the brown condom dress singing with RuPaul and Kermit the Frog.
Well, if
Like,
I remember right, that was a Thanksgiving special, which is
oh,
even
sorry.
funnier. Well, no, I'm not. It's even funnier to have a Thanksgiving special.
It's just like that spectacle. Like, I want, give me
Yeah.
something.
I loved that special. Was she and Elton John? Oh, it could belong together. Art pop.
Yes.
Excellent.
I just wanted more of that.
Yeah, I agree with that. Um, but I don't know. I just love Christmas content, so I'm happy to have it. I
Yeah.
did finally get around to watching the Lindsay Lohan movie. What is it called?
That's exactly what I said when I talked about it last time. It's called Our Little Secret.
Oh yeah. Well, we don't have to
It's a
go
bad
too.
name.
Yeah, it is a bad name. We don't have to get too into it because we talked about it last week a little bit. But what I loved about it, the scene where she eats like 12 cookies and then she blames it on the dog and she's smashing the cookies into the dog's face. And it's this tiny little cookie or tiny little dog was so fucking funny to me.
Yeah, I thought it was a little wild.
Well, it was wild, and that's why it was funny.
I just wish the movie would have leaned in a little more campy. Like it was like almost like they were just like too scared to fully go there. Like I
Yeah,
wish
I
it
see
would
what you
have really done
mean.
it. Yeah.
Well, because there were some ways, right, where like, they wife swap at the end.
Yeah, that was funny.
Kristen Chenoweth and the teacher from Mean Girls, the principal from Mean Girls.
Yeah. Did you catch there was the line where she said like, "Oh, you think you're pretty" or something?
I don't know if I did, but Hot Frosty had a reference to Mean Girls too.
Wow.
So I
Well,
think it's fun
she's in
that,
it too.
yeah, it's Lacey Chabert in that one. So I do
Yeah.
think it's fun that they're like referencing the universe.
Yeah. My mom watched it and she sent me this update. She said, "Hot Frosty was indeed not hot. LOL. The movie was bad, but I love Lacey Chabert." Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
I almost read the next part, which was, "Did you get a Christmas gift for your grandma?" Not part of the review.
Oh my god. That's so
Oh, and
funny.
she watched Our Little Secret. She enjoyed it, thought it was cute.
Oh, that's a great thing. See, that's a real hit.
I'm glad that my
Um,
mom has the same movie opinions.
we share a lot of taste, me and Trace.
It's more than you think. Next, I'll make her watch Sabrina Carpenter's Nonsense Christmas.
Well, I think she'll disagree that that one's bad. And we can save
And
her the
I'll,
hour.
oh, she'll just agree? Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Did you watch SNL last night?
I didn't, but I saw that Trisha Paytas was on it.
Yeah, she was for like 1 minute. Was very
And
random.
did Paul Mescal host?
Yeah.
I wanted to see it. I saw like a little clip of a skit he did, like a gladiator
That's
musical
what I was
or
gonna talk
something.
about. You gotta watch it. It's really, really funny.
I do want to watch it, but I haven't seen it.
Yeah. The episode was good. I don't know if the whole thing is must see, but definitely the Gladiator 2 sketch. They turn it into a musical to compete with Moana and Wicked. It was really fucking funny and really well done.
Okay, yeah, I'll watch it after this. I found out more information about Moana and why it sucked. It's because it was supposed to be a TV series, and then for some
Oh.
reason they scrapped that and turned it into a movie, and that's why like stuff didn't make sense, and there was no good songs because it was for Disney Plus.
Oh, that does make sense. Well, that's why, okay, so going to the Harry Potter series, you sent me something right before this. So who's
Yeah,
been cast?
I don't think anybody has been cast yet. They're just like throwing out these rumors to like get interest. I don't know. They're probably like trying to get buzz going so that people are interested in doing the project, is my guess. But what's crazy is like the two people that I've seen that they have said like are potentially casted are just like extremely hot actors for
Yeah.
Hagrid and Snape, who are like notably not the most attractive characters.
Yeah, that's like Snape's whole lore is like as a kid he's like ugly and got the big nose and like greasy.
Yeah, greasy hair. Um, so I don't know. I think they're just trying to like make everyone hot and sexy.
Well, um all right, is it gonna be 10 seasons? Did I make that up?
I don't remember reading that. 10 is a lot of seasons.
I know, but there's famously 8 books, 7 books, 8 movies.
Famously.
Well, I just don't know how they're gonna do it because, like, book one is a great book, but there's not all that much there to make that like 10, 30-minute episodes. Whereas like books 4 through 7, you like there's a
Yeah.
ton there.
I don't know. I'm still like figuring out if I'm allowed to watch it or not.
I know they're really doubling down on her.
I know.
Um, Let me see if I can figure out how many seasons.
I think at this point, I'm just like, in my head, the world is literally ending. So, like, let me watch a freaking TV show before I go out.
Yeah. I think you just have to like do something nice to make up for it.
Yeah, like offsetting carbon emissions,
Yeah.
offsetting trans hate with, I don't know.
Yeah. Or like my company gave me a surprise little gift card because I'm in this like I mentor new employees for a few weeks when they start. And I was excited by it, but I'm giving it well, I'm splitting it up, but I'm like giving it in both Christmas gifts and we're doing like a toy drive. So I bought 2 toys instead of one.
Wow.
So that's how I'm trying to be a little bit better person, just trying to give back like a little more.
Just a little bit. Yeah.
A little bit more because I was
Oh,
always a giver.
not a taker.
Well, it's funny too because like Brendan and I both get a year-end bonus, which is lovely, but we don't really have like you know how like you're supposed to give to like I don't know if people actually do this, but like the mailman and your housekeeper and all of that. Well, we don't have like anyone. We just have the gardener who comes every week. He's our one like
Yeah.
person to bonus. So it's like I got to give the gardener a little more this year. Like I really got to be nicer, I think.
Do people really tip the mailman?
I
Like
don't know
in
about the
like regular
mailman.
places?
I don't know. I've never spoken to my mailman once.
I feel like it's like if you are
Or I
like
guess
a
I've
place
said
that
thank
gets
you
like a
when he
bunch
rang.
of packages and stuff. I could see that.
Yeah, if you live in like an apartment building with a doorman and stuff.
Yeah.
But that's not me.
I don't know. We hate tipping culture, I think. So,
Well, I mean, I'm not going to give the coffee person extra. But like,
yeah.
I think it's nice to give like, yeah, the gardener or like a housekeeper or something like a Christmas something.
A gift. Yeah.
Yeah.
A little treat.
Yeah. Um, oh my God. Have you ever watched The Sex Lives of College Girls?
I think we've talked about it. But or no, my sister wants me to watch it. I can't. I refuse to watch it based off the name. Like, it's just like someone's like, "Do you want to hear about the sex lives of college girls?" I'm like, "No, I don't."
Okay, well, you should watch it. It's so fucking funny. Season 3 just started. Uh, I mean, there is like some sex in it, but it's mostly just about their like, you know, girls in college. But in the most recent episode, one of the Pauline Chalamet, Timothy's sister, is one of the main girls, and she meets this like hot guy and gives her his number. Then later that night, she's at a party, and hot guy is like making out and like fondling a boy. And so she's like, was I misreading this? But it turns out that he's bisexual, if you could believe
Wow.
that. Uh, and so she goes to his room. They're like, she gets worried about like, what if he's, you know, not going to be into me or whatever. So she goes to a sex shop and she buys a vibrator and she goes to hook up with him and she tells him to turn over and she's going to peg him.
That's funny.
And it was like, it was just really funny because he's like, that's not what I'm looking for from you. I want that type.
Wow. Do you think something like that actually happens?
No, not really.
Like, I have like a couple of friends that are bisexual, but only one guy friend that is.
Yeah.
It's more rare. So he's never told me of any situations like that.
I don't think that people think they're gonna peg. Uh, I think that they get asked to peg.
Okay, this is probably off pod. I just don't think,
Yeah, that's probably true for the most part.
like me, when I see a hot guy, I'm like, I want what I want. You know what I mean? Like, I don't
Yeah.
care what. And it's like, if you don't want to give that, then it doesn't work, and I move on. I'm not gonna like do something else, you know?
Yeah, I agree with that. Well, I think it is why, I mean, from what I've read anecdotally online, but from like bi guys, is like they typically end up being with gay guys because it's just harder to get a straight woman on board with the full spectrum.
Yeah, I think there's this thing with people that are bisexual or whatever, non single gender attraction is that like I feel like it's hard for them to feel secure dating someone like that because it's like your partner's always missing out. Like if you're in a monogamous relationship, then there's always going to be a part of them, like a part of their sexuality that you can't fulfill. So I think it's harder for people to like be secure in that way. But as you know, lots of gay people don't care. And it's like
Right.
live, laugh, fuck.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's probably
Yeah.
easier that way.
I think the perfect solution is if you're bisexual to date someone else who's bisexual, and then you just have to be open, and then you just have lots of like threesomes.
Or more.
Yeah.
That would be crazy. Has that happened before? Like the power that that would have is crazy.
Well, it has to have happened once before.
Okay, but what if you're. So I was picturing like two guys that are bisexual, but it could be a guy and a girl.
Right. That's what I was
Or
picturing
whatever.
because that's what happened on the show. But I see what you're
Wait, the
saying.
girl is bisexual too?
I don't think she is, but I don't think she is. But she is a slut. And so then what I was thinking could really work is if they were together, then they threesome with another bi guy.
This could be a really funny TV show.
Yeah. So in summation, I really recommend the show. It's really fun and there's a lot of really hot guys on it.
Okay. And I know it's like created by Mindy Kaling, who I
Yeah.
love.
And it's only like this is only the third season and it's 30-minute episodes. So it's not the biggest lift.
Okay. Well, I do need a plane show, although if there's sex scenes, probably not for the plane.
Girl, I'm so bad. I just put on what I want. I was watching what's his name get fucked the other day on a plane. Red, white, and royal blue. Well, I'm not the
I
one
was
who picked the show as part of the entertainment selection.
Oh, I thought they normally like cut out like sex scenes and stuff when they do that.
I was watching full anal.
That's equality.
It is equality. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how it works. Some airlines definitely do, but
Yeah.
not American.
One thing I wanted to talk about. Did you see Billboard named Beyonce like artist of the decade or something? I think that's
Greatest
what it
pop
was.
star of the decade,
Oh,
yes.
yeah. Um, and in their announcement, they like basically bashed Taylor Swift.
Did they?
Yeah, well, I don't know if it was like a read on Beyonce actually, but it was trending. The words "while Taylor Swift" were trending because the announcement was like, "While Taylor Swift has broken record A, B, C, D, and E, we still wanted to choose Beyonce." Like they were just like, "We like her better," basically.
Oh, yes. Interesting.
I just thought that was crazy. Just like imagine you're Taylor Swift and you're like, you've done all this damn work. You've been touring for 2 years, whatever. And then they announce it's not you. Like, okay, that sucks. And then
Yeah.
they're like, even though in all conceivable metrics it should have been you, we're not naming it to be you.
Um, yeah, let's see. I wish I had known this was coming. I would have had more thoughts put together. Other than like, I do think Beyonce is a more compelling artist.
It just really gives like, I'm gonna let you finish in a minute, but so and so should have been the best pop artist of the decade.
Yeah. Well, I mean, definitely like Eras Tour was real monoculture, and I'm not anyway disputing that. I just think like I don't know, like Renaissance for me, I think was like the best album of the last 10
Yeah.
years.
But what I mean is it's like also shady on Beyonce to be like, you didn't break all these records, blah 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 blah. But we're gonna let you have it anyways. Like
Yeah.
it's kind of shady.
No, I agree to your point. Like if they're making an announcement and like standing behind it, then it should purely be based upon like here's your argument for it, not like, well, this other person probably should have been it, but
Yeah. The best joke was I saw was they were like, so basically Billboard just admitted to going off of vibes.
well, music is vibes, I'll give you that.
Okay, that is true.
Well, that's funny.
One joke I forgot to mention about the to me this is top meme of the week, which is uh, United CEO shooter lookalike contest. Like they actually did it, and there's photos, which is crazy to me.
It'd be really funny if the guy showed up and nobody knew it was him.
Honestly, iconic behavior.
Well, what I
Did
don't
you see? Oh, go ahead.
well, this is related. I don't understand though. So they released those photos of him allegedly, but that's a different jacket than the guy was wearing. So how do we know that that was the guy?
Okay, so they've released more photos, and each photo is a different jacket with a different face mask. And in the newer photos, like it looks like the same guy because he's staring
Interesting.
directly at the camera, and there's like also a photo of him like waving at a camera. Like he knew what he was doing.
Oh my god.
The mind that he has. I don't know.
Well, it's gonna be so interesting to see if he gets caught. Like if he's never caught, that will be bananas.
I don't even know which would be more of a spectacle, like if he never gets caught or if he does.
Yeah.
Because did you see the FBI now has like a $50,000 bounty, I guess, on him?
Well, it should be bigger than that.
Well, before like the NYPD had a $10,000 one, and now the
Well,
FBI is 50K. But it's like people murder people every day, and we don't get 50K for reporting them.
okay, fair. But we should.
Well, if you want to live in a narc society,
I don't.
but we would like 50K.
Yeah. Oh my god.
The trolley problem.
Did you have anything else you wanted to discuss?
Yes.
Great.
Have you seen Lindsay Lohan and Christina Aguilera's new faces?
I've really seen Lindsay's.
They look good.
They look really good. I don't know if it's true, but I read that it's like a new plastic surgery, but they basically have like removed the fillers and stuff, but like put scar tissue in to like hold them in place. So they look normal, but they also can't quite like make all the faces they used to be able to make.
Well, it's been a while since they could do that.
Sure. But I don't know if that's true.
I don't know. All I know is it does look good, and I am looking into that. Would you ever do that? Like plastic surgery?
Well, I'm gonna have to get my chin done because this, like, in 2 seconds, like, if I gain a quarter of a pound, it immediately comes here. And I think I'm more genetically prone to like that showing up. Anyways, I'm gonna have to get this done for my mental health at some point.
Gender affirming care before they ban it.
But I don't think I would ever do like a facelift or something that's like serious surgery with real recovery times. At this
Yeah.
time, I don't feel like that's something that I want to do.
I don't even know what I could do. Like probably like a nose job because I have a big nose.
I mean, you could do anything you want.
But like I don't know what would help me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't look in the mirror and I'm like, oh yeah, I need this because I look ugly.
Yeah. No,
I'm
this
sure other
chin thing
people
has
could tell
just
me.
the chin thing's always bothered me, but that's it. And then obviously like I wish I wasn't, fat. So, but I have learned of course that if I do eat well and exercise that it does reduce. So I will continue to I think focus on that.
Yeah, just reduce, reuse, and recycle.
Well, because I know someone who just got lipo. I can't say who they are, but it's like a 6 month recovery time.
Really?
Um, yeah, you like swell, and it takes like, well, I don't know what the full. It takes 6 months to see the results, fully, which I'm like, I want to go in and like look incredible like next week.
Yeah, I want to get abs like how Drake does it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, and then Kathy Griffin, I mean, this was a long time ago, so I'm sure the techniques have improved, but she got lipo, and I forget exactly what happened, but she basically had to get hospitalized because it went really wrong and she had crazy side effects. And
Wow.
so I'm like scared of most surgeries. I just don't want to fuck with like what God gave me.
Yeah, I think like the people that get like BBLs, that freaks me out. And the concept of having like such a long recovery time is like crazy to me. I'm like, is it even worth it?
Yeah. Well, because to that point around lipo, it's like I'm just sure if I took 6 months and really did it right, like got a nutritionist, got a meal plan, like stopped drinking, if I dialed in for 6 months, I'm just sure I could really make significant progress that I would rather do than like surgery for me.
Yeah. Like I would rather do like the ones where they like make your stomach smaller, like probably than lipo, because it's just like makes it easier to do the diet
Yeah, that's
versus.
true.
And I would just be so terrified. Like imagine you get lipo and then you like gain it back. It's just like
I know.
I would
Well, it's like at
just
that point,
end.
though, if you're going to get the stomach band, you should just get Ozempic.
Well, I don't know if we understand all the long-term ramifications of that yet.
Yeah, but when they shrink your stomach, they literally put like a rubber band or something around it inside of you.
Yeah, but that's to me is less crazier than like messing with your hormones and all that biochemical stuff.
Yeah, well, and this is why there's so many options because we all feel differently. I'm like, girl, do not squeeze my
Like,
stomach.
well, I don't think I qualify for either of those things, but just theoretically.
Well, they'll do lipo on anybody. That was my way of saying you qualify for
Yeah.
lipo.
You should go get this.
Well, but I don't know what I would do for my chin because I did look because there's different options. There's like an injectable that I forget what it's called, Kybella, I think. And it like basically burns up all your fat. Um,
Okay, Regina George.
but that takes like several weeks, and then you look like a bullfrog while you wait for it to do it. So I'm just like, everything is bad.
Yeah, I think it's better to go the old-fashioned way,
I think
which
so.
is you just get old and gross.
Well, we'll see. What a fun discussion. I didn't expect to plastic surge.
Well, okay, next week I'll come to you with what I would get. I'll do some
Okay.
research.
And I'm going to do some more research. So I have a better answer as to what I really would do.
Perfect. All right. Well, that's
That's
all.
it.
Thanks everyone for listening. New episodes come out every Tuesday on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. Please follow Baby That's Cont on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. You can also follow us on our socials at Jojo_Patron and at Queen Kip.
Bye, everyone. We'll see you next Tuesday.
Bye.